Hello, everyone. Welcome for our next periods of Zazen. Can't hit? We will now have a little talk with Zazen. ここに話し中に書きになっていただけますか？今話して。
Yes.
リラックスしたり、座禅したり、どっちでもいい。
Yes.
Let me try something fancy today. Wait a second. Maybe I don't have to. I was going to switch cameras, but this might be good enough. Let me see. I guess that's good enough. Yeah. Everyone can hear okay? Is the sound very good? If it's very good, give me a real thumbs up. Okay. For this portion, you can sit and relax. You can sit zazen as I speak. You can go back and forth as you wish. Dosha, will you recite the chant to open the sutras? Caught you a bit off guard there, huh, Dosha?
The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered yet rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered yet rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning. The Dharma, incomparably profound and infinitely subtle, is always encountered, yet rarely perceived. Now we see, hear, receive, and maintain this. May we all realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Well, it is so good to be here with friends, and that's what all of you are, my dear friends, friends to each other, for this holiday of Rohats, Shakya-sama no Nirvana no Hi. So you may wonder, these holiday celebrates the 8 days that Shakyamuni sat under the Bodhi tree and finally saw the light of the northern morning star and was enlightened. So you may think, why are we reading about something Ajo wrote? Because the light that Ajo describes is the light of that morning star, the light of enlightenment. Ajo was the successor to Dogen Zenji. This is really the only piece we have by him, but his writing, he was so faithful, so loyal to Dogen, and everything here resonates of Dogen's way of expressing. Here, Ajo speaks of the Kyomyo Zanmai, which can be translated a few ways, but something like the Samadhi of the treasury of the light. What kind of light is this? Is this some wonderful, colorful rainbow that emits from a Buddha's body? Doyu hikari desu ka? Butsuzo kara deru hikari desu ka? Niji mitai na iroiro ni iro. It's wondrous light, but Ajo, throughout this writing, tries to tell us how ordinary it is. The more his language flowers, the more he's telling us how it's right before our eyes. It is the light in our eyes, of the most ordinary light, of what you see before you, what you see when you look in the mirror and see yourself. The only way I can maybe capture the feeling here is to tell you, I was in a cathedral, I think it was in Europe a few years ago, and through the stained glass, the light was coming in to fill the room, and it was sacred. Kyokai no hikari, sugokata. Watashi, mae wa kyokai ite hikari ga. It was sacred. But then the light rested on the little dust particles floating through the air. You've all seen that when, just the beam of light catches dust. And suddenly each particle of dust floating was also sacred. Also sacred. And I looked down, and the wood, mokuzai, hikari wa mokuzai ne? The wood was so beautiful. It too was sacred. And across the room I looked, and there was a little cat, Neko-chan, in the light. And an old woman was sitting there, as I remember, a widow. She was dressed in black. And they were sacred. And I got up from the church, and I went outside into the streets, and as I remember, it was in a city. And before I had come into the church, there was the city. There was a homeless fellow on the steps of the church. There were taxis passing. There was noise, people yelling, people going around their busy business. And it was all confusion. And when I left the church, it was the same city. But suddenly, that light It was the same light filling all of it. The homeless man, the passing taxis, the noise, all the sacred light. Zenbu hikari atairu koto. Subarashi. Master Eijo comes to tell us that this light he is talking about is not even the kind of light you see with the eyes. He's not talking about the northern lights. He's not talking about mystical lights. So there may be times people are meditating. I'm talking to one fellow now. He's meditating and he's had visions of Buddha with light. And I say it's beautiful. Enjoy the ride, man. Some of us children of the 60s and 70s, man, I've seen lights. But these are not the lights we're talking about. I went to a laser show, the Pink Floyd show with all the lasers, Dark Side of the Moon with the laser, It's not that light. I went to 4th of July. We have the fireworks everywhere. That's not what Eijo is talking about. So what does he mean by the light? Perhaps there are words such as illumination, clarity, the crystal clear, the little light that shines within and without. When we're in times of trouble, the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know if it's just a homonym, but the lightness of being. We have a painter here, maybe a couple, and they work with light. That's all the painting is. It's not a manipulation of paint. It's the light that resounds from the paint and enters the eye, creating a world. In one beautiful way of seeing this world, we are images in a great painting that is this world, simultaneously with brush in hand painting ourselves. If we make an ugly scene, then the painting has a little ugliness in it. If we make a beautiful scene, then we add a little touch of beauty to this world. But all we are is manipulating light. I don't want to get too cosmic here too, and I want to get down to Eijo in a second, but I even spoke to some physicists here in Tsukuba. We have Butsuri Gakusha, Seikai Zenbu Hikari desu. And he said that, everything, you and me and the whole world, we are truly light. Every particle on the periodic table, is kind of a variation on the photon. The photon perhaps is the simplest bit of whatever of this universe. Some physicists think that the speed of light is what limits us in this universe. It's the border. But everything in this universe is just variations on light. We come from the stars, which are also light. Truly, we are made of light. But again, what Master Eijo is trying to remind us here is that this light that is so sacred, so wondrous, kono sugoi hikari, jitsu wa futsu desu, is just ordinary. It shines on the beautiful. It shines on the ugly. It shines in the morning. It shines at night. When Ajo uses light here, I think it's just another symbol for enlightenment. Don't get carried away that he's saying that he's had some vision that his room suddenly fills with light. He may have, but he's using this as another one of those symbols that so imperfectly capture what it is that the Buddha realized under that Bodhi tree. Sometimes, I like to talk about the clear, blue, bright sky, boundless in all directions, where the things of this world, the thoughts and emotions, float through like clouds. And even in the darkest clouds, we can find that light of the clear blue sky shining through. Clouds, blue sky are one. Sometimes we speak of the bright mirror, the boundless round mirror that rejects nothing placed and reflected in it. It doesn't say this is ugly. It doesn't say this is beautiful. The bright, round, clear mirror shines with all. This is one of the best descriptions of Zen mind, to have a mind kagami mitai ni. Kagami, nanika kyohi shimasen. Zenbu, ne, kagami, nandemo, kirei na mono, minikui na mono, kamawanai. Kagami. Ne. Sometimes we speak about the moon, the light of the moon, as enlightenment. The light shines upon this earth. It shines down on good people. It shines down on bad people. It shines down on peaceful scenes. It shines down on war. The moon makes no distinctions, and yet it illuminates all of that. Can we see through all the separate things of this world? I'm going to get to Ajo in a second. I'm kind of laying all my cards on the table first before I get to Ajo. Can we see all the separate things of this world as just this light? What would be a way to think of that? If you turn the light on in a room, suddenly things appear. There's you, there's me, there's the table, the chair, the cat in the corner, Mr. K over here. But if you turn the light, you've ever seen this? You turn the light really bright, white light, brighter and brighter, glaring light. Suddenly all the separate things disappear, and all there is the light. It hides everything, or better yet, it swallows, it brings in everything. Or if we refract white light, we get all the colors, all the separate things. Right? Blue and red and green. But when they come together again, there's just the white light. The white light somehow holds all the separate colors. Yet the white light is all of them too. This is our world. There's a way to see our world as all divided. There's a way to see our world as all together. 正解はね、別々のものとみんな統一している見方、両方あります。Now let's get to Ajo. First he's going to tell us what this light is not. So fools who hear some talk about luminosity might think that this is light like the light of fireflies, like the light of lanterns, like the light of the sun or moon, the gleaming of gold or jewels. I might add, like fireworks, like light bulbs, like the northern lights. Again, he's saying that he's not necessarily speaking about the light that can be seen with the eye. They look around for something that they already know. To look for this light is like You right now asking me, where's the light? Everything you see is light. It's like the eye asking for the eye. Could you imagine someone saying, where's the light? Where's the light? Everything you see is light. Everything you know of this world is but light entering your eye, converted into a signal that travels into your brain and is recreated into images. What you are seeing now of me, what you are seeing now of the room you sit in, what you are sitting now of everyone in your life that you love and that you hate is just light entering your eyes that you process, judge, categorize. But in this case, the great white light, the beautiful light that Ejo is talking about, it's right before your eyes and your eyes too. Looking for the blaze of radiance, they concentrate on their little minds and try to figure it out. This is something to see, not just think about. Trying to turn it into the realm of emptiness and silence. Many times, Ejo cautions us that our Zazen practice, in the Komyozo is actually much longer than what we're reading here. So I've spent this week reading it a couple of times. And he cautions us many places that this is not about trying to make the mind empty, get rid of all the thoughts, get to some transcendent reality where the world vanishes, trying to silence the thoughts, trying to silence the mind. You know, a lot of people think that's what Zazen is about, trying to turn off the mind, trying to quiet the world, make it all disappear. Like a blackboard filled with writing, and you take the eraser, you want to get everything off, like the painting that the painter is painting, taking varnish and stripping away all the paint to get back to some blank white canvas, and that is truth. No! The painting is truth. The canvas is truth. The light is truth. It's all truth. Don't think that this practice is about trying to get down to some realm of pure emptiness and silence. And so Ejo cautions. So these fools freeze and hide in motionlessness. They think that they just stand still the mind. That's where it's at. That's not where it's at. They are unable to give up looking for some kind of thing that they can acquire. This is the goallessness of this practice. How easy it seems and how hard and frustrating it is for me sometimes why people don't seem to understand that if you're looking for something that is all around and always here, the way to find it is to realize it's here and to stop looking. Isn't that what our Shikantaza is? That's what Ejo reminds us so much here. If you have a treasure in hand, the way to realize it is to open the hand, not to keep searching over some distant hill. Jijutsu, muko janakute, koko. Dakara, sagasu koto janakute, sagasu koto yamete kudasai. Koko ni aru mitomete. Fact. Yeah. So he says they are unable to give up looking for some kind of thing that they can acquire. Or they think mystical thoughts and go on about how special it is. Again, you know, I'm not saying people should not have mystical experiences and expect some wowie. Eastern religions, Buddhism, people are always looking for the wowie, man. There are those times. But sometimes if you're only looking, searching, I need some big high, I need some big color light show, I need something that looks like that laser show with Pink Floyd, I need some big trip, I need a mystical experience, I need a big kensho, I need something special to take me out of this place, get me out of this place, because this place is nothing special. You're missing it. You're missing it. The light is present. There's nothing more special than where you sit right now. There's an alternative translation here. I'm just going to skip over that, but that's I put a couple of different translations. I'm going to go after. I like the last part of it. Their thoughts of inconceivable mystic wonder go on and on unceasingly, and they think too deeply only of its rarity. There are only too many people like this, sleeping with eyes open, just bags of borrowed rice. That's just an old expression to mean kind of people wasting their time. The way is not a matter of thinking or of not thinking. Some people think that the way to attain this way is to stop all thoughts. Well, that's reality too, but human beings think. And some people say the way to find this way is to philosophize about it, to think about it. Well, thinking is who we are as human beings too. But Master Dogen, Ajo, always talk about thinking, non-thinking, the thinking that shines right through both thinking or not thinking. It's the light that shines right through both words and silence. It cannot be attained through words or silence. As soon as you get involved in deliberation, you are 10 million stages away. As soon as you start to think, where is it? Where is it? What is it? What is this light? What is Jundo talking about? What is Ajo talking about? What kind of light is this? It's so far away. As soon as you just open your eyes, there it is. Here it is. Monks, do not all of the strategies of cultivating something, or of mystical principles, or of subtle states, all fall within either thinking or not thinking? Since it is not a matter of thinking or not thinking, right now, give up on deluded views of attaining or rejecting. Don't try to think. Don't try not to think. Simply sit beyond attaining or not attaining. So many times in the Komyozo, Ajo speaks of this light as the light of equanimity. Accepting it all, holding it all. We do not chase after this light. We do not run away from this light. We just sit still and let this light shine. The light is not something we can attain. You can travel at the speed of light and still not catch it. You do not need to run after this light. Where can you go that this light is not? It's like trying to look around. Where is this light? I ask you, where is this light not? Nor is it something to reject. Ajo many times in the Kyomyozo says that whatever thoughts come, the beautiful, the ugly, the good, the bad, when you do not reject and when you see them all as the light, like when I walked out of that church and the beautiful and the ugly and the noise and the silence and the cat and the old woman and the homeless man and the taxis and the noise and the silence, all of it, reject none of it, sitting with equanimity, and the light shines. How do we do this? Dogen and Ajo spoke of just letting go. Don't try. Sit and totally put down the burden. Sit and just open the eyes and see. There's nothing you have to do, more of a matter of what you need to stop doing. When you stop chasing, when you stop trying to catch, sitting in equanimity, sitting in brightness, it's just here. And was here all along. So Ajo says, here's your mistake if you do this. It's you do not release yourself into totality or yield into freedom and ease. Notice he says, release yourself, let go, and just be sitting in totality. I always tell people, sit zazen. with the feeling that it is totality. It is the one place to be, the only thing to be, complete and whole. Just release yourself into that. Stop chasing it. Just release. Yield into freedom and ease. Don't run after them. Don't try to get them. Give up the fight. And there is freedom and ease. 自由はね、追いかけることじゃなくて、リラックスするときはね、自由です。Instead, you mutter that you are missing some essential trick or skill. I tell you, around the forum, what's the trick, Jundo? If I do this, if I work on my posture, if I work on a koan, should I switch? Should I do this? Try this new technique? Get a juzu? Chant this? Whatever rings your bell, whatever lights your light, I'm fine with. All of life is an expression of light. It's all good. But what is he saying here? Instead, you mutter that you are missing some essential trick or skill. Or you say, I'm just a beginner. Or that you've started to practice too late. You're an old dog. You can't be taught new tricks. And so you remain usual people who have not shed a single deluded view. Again, he speaks about releasing. Don't grab, release. You do not release your assumptions of self-image. The way to release yourself, as Dogen said, is to drop a body-mind, is to stop trying to drop body-mind. Just relax, sit in equanimity and peace, sit with a certain brightness, knowing this is complete, knowing this is whole, knowing there is not one more thing to attain, no other thing necessary. You are there. The light is shining everywhere. Your light is shining within and without. The light is blazing. Sit with that kind of light during Zazen, and you have released your self-image. Body and mind drop away. Although you dwell always in the great treasury of luminosity, you sell yourself out for hard labor. You sell yourself short, or you're always making more trouble for yourself than you need. You wander around in misery, always poor, although born into wealth and ease. Through your own views of poverty, you turn the body of clear radiance into, I love this, a carrier of buckets of nice soil, a shithole cleaner. I use a couple of words on the forum occasionally. People jump all over me, but these old guys, they didn't pull any punches when they were talking. The view of a self should just be released right now. Relax. Let it go. That song, my daughter's listening to that Frozen DVD about 10 times a day. What does she sing? Let it go. Let it go. What does she say after that? I can't take it anymore. I don't think that's a Zen attitude. But let it go. Just let it go, man. Just put your hair down like she does. Here I sit. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not going to get that song out of my head during the next Zazen. I know it. The Buddha has said, mind, body, and living beings are not three different things. This is the most important section. I really want to, for me. Where is Buddha? Outside? That guy who died 2,500 years ago? That statue up there? Where is the light? Where is the Buddha? Where is enlightenment? Is it outside me, over the next hill? The Zen people speak about mind, Zen mind. Where is this mind? Mind, Buddha, and ordinary living beings, and I'm looking at you right there, are not three different things. And if you don't believe me, at least believe Ajo. At least believe the Buddha on that. The Buddha also said, there is only one truth. It's the truth of that painting that includes the beautiful. It's the truth of that painting that includes the ugly. It's the truth of the past, the truth of the future. It's the truth of Buddhas. It's the truth of ordinary people. The Buddha said there is only one truth. But even though you encounter such teachings, you still fall into delusions about self and other, noble and common. You think, this is sacred with the light through the stained glass in the cathedral is sacred. The light on the cat in the corner is not. He's a Buddha. I'm an ordinary person. The dust is just dust. We need to clean it away. You do not see. You fall into delusions about self and other, noble and common, sacred and profane. Viewing objects laid out before you, you consider sounds, you consider forms and sounds as poverty and wealth, loss and gain. You're always judging everything. This is a plus, this is a minus, this is good, this is bad, this is healthy, this is sick, this is life, this is death, this is good for me, this is bad, I like this guy, I do not like this guy. Can you see the light that sweeps it all in, shines brightly, the moon that shines down on all of it, the clear mirror light that rejects none of it, the clear blue sky that holds all of it, beyond poverty, beyond wealth, beyond loss, beyond gain. Plus no toki aru, minus no toki aru, genki no toki aru, byoki no toki aru, kanashi toki aru, ureshi toki aru.
Yeah.
Jinsei desu. Kedo kono hotoke no hikari no naka ni zenbu nandeshou. And by holding on to these views, your practice is infected by hope and fear. Okay. We have about 5 minutes. Anyone have a pressing question? You don't have to ask a question. Yeah, please. Redbeard.
This is going to sound like a technical question, but I don't want it to be about technical. I've recently been reading about the three kayas, the Dharmakaya, Nirmanakaya, Sambodhakaya maybe, the thing that made me think of it is this mind, body, and living beings, like Dharmakaya being the underlying oneness of everything, and Nirmanakaya being the body with which we go out into the world and be bodhisattvas. And the Sambodhakaya being the mind of Buddha, but it's all Buddha. Is that the same? Like, do you think that are some of the words that he's using code words for these other sort of wider Buddhist terms? Do you think?
Yeah, the Nirmanakaya is, the great Buddha that sweeps all in. The Nirmanakaya is the historical Buddha, but then there's also sacred, ignorant individuals like you and me and Buddhas. And then there's, there's the great golden idealized images of Buddha, yes. And there's the sacred religious image on that stained glass I saw. And there's the homeless man, yes. There are all these things. They're all symbols for something. There's the symbols for the truth beyond all separation. There's the symbol for the sacredness of every single separate tree. Every grain of dust is sacred. The homeless man is Buddha. The Jesus on the cross on the cathedral, and the old lady sitting in the church praying to him were not two. Because the Buddha has said, mind, body, and living things are not three different things. There is only one truth. Even though you encounter such teachings, you fall into delusions about self and other, noble and common, sacred and profane. Sit Zazen and drop that all the way today. One more question before we go? Yeah. Can't hear you. Speak up a little. This is going to be one of these real Zen questions we always have, where the fellow's mouth moves, but nothing comes out.
I have a question.
Yeah, one sec. You're going to have to save that for later. Mr. K has a question. Yes?
Yes, I remember the Daisetsu Suzuki said, my hand, our hand, is this hand is not to me.
Mm-hmm.
My hand is Buddha's hand.
Yes.
So we are all Buddha.
Yes.
So reason why the fact is inside my mind, but reason why we are confused and worry and mistake.
Why?
Why?
Because we think we're confused and we worry.
Yeah.
And we feel mistake.
Yeah.
And we don't realize our hand is Buddha hand.
Yeah.
That's why. Because you think there's mistake. There's mistake.
Yeah.
Because you think there's something lacking.
Yeah.
There's something lacking.
Yeah.
When you don't think, if you think nothing lacking, nothing's lacking.
Lucky?
もし何か足りないと考えたら、
Yeah.
足りない。
Yeah.
もし何も足りないと考えたら、何も足りない。問題があること、ここです。この考え捨てたら問題ありません。
Yeah.
If you think you're not Buddha, you're not Buddha. If you think there's something lacking, something's lacking. If you think there's something wrong, something's wrong. What if you stop thinking you're not Buddha? Who are you then? What if you stop thinking something's lacking? What's lacking? I'm not saying that if you just think positive, happy thoughts, suddenly all the things in the world are going to turn to peaches and cream. We're still going to have things like violence, racial inequality, starvation, that people's mouths we need to feed, war. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying just think happy thoughts. I'm saying from the Dharmakaya point of view, when we stop thinking there's division, there's lack, what then? When we stop thinking that Buddha is somewhere distant, what then? The light is shining everywhere. I think it's a good time to shut up now before I just make things cloudier than I already am. Okay? Shall we get back to sitting? I left the schedule over there. What's next? I think we have Kin Hin now. Kin Hin. I'll just clap my hands twice. Kin Hin.
Do we need to close the sutras?
No, I think we're going to do that on the last day for the last sutra. We'll just leave them open the whole time. Okay? Okay. Zazen? Zazen. We will now have a little rest. Well, thank you, everybody. We're now off to Canada, where Shokai is going to do work practice that he's calling SAMU for seniors. And then we get on Fugen Starship, which is taking us through time and space to Sweden, where we'll be the rest of the day. I want to thank everyone today so much, and I will hopefully be sitting here with you tomorrow, too. All right? Thank you, everybody. Peace.